What if the biggest struggle to your change isn't a lack of willpower, but a secret calculation that your brain is making every single day? It's a fundamental choice, avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. We stay stuck not because we're lazy, but because our brains have been conditioned to believe that staying the same is less painful than the struggle of change. But what if the key to unlocking your potential isn't about pushing harder, but about creating an entirely new equation where your old habits become a source of pain and your new ones, they become the ultimate pleasure? Good morning. It is currently just a little bit after 6. I'm so tired this morning. I was so tempted to just stay in bed, not even gonna lie. It was one of those mornings where it just like felt extra comfortable for some reason, and I don't really know why, but it's okay. We pushed through. We are prioritizing our goals and we're gonna keep on going. I feel so much better now that I'm just like up and moving, and usually once I get to my Celtic salt water, I'm usually waking up pretty good by then. So I took out my overnight curlers first. I like to do that because I don't really like to work out in them. I find them kind of annoying sometimes. So I took those out, and those are like amazing, by the way. If you don't use those, oh my gosh, like it saves me so much time getting ready in the morning because my hair is already like curled. It looks like I took a curling wand to my hair, and in reality I just slept in some heatless curls and it took me 5 minutes. One of my priorities every single morning is to make sure that I hydrate. So my Celtic salt water is just one of my rituals. I really look forward to my Celtic salt water in the mornings because after sleeping for 6 to 8 hours, your body's dehydrated. It needs some good hydration. So this will do that because the Celtic salt particularly has a majority of the minerals that your body needs to function. It has a lot of electrolytes in it. So I sprinkle a little bit in my water and just drink it. I love using my pumpkin glass because it's just a way for me to make it enjoyable. I don't know why my camera won't focus on my little glass here. It's from Pottery Barn and it is so cute. But this is what I'm so passionate about, is that you can absolutely work on your goals and you can achieve your goals while still enjoying the moments of getting there. For instance, for me right now, those moments look like very seasonal things. So I love to use my pumpkin glass. I love to turn on all of my cozy little lights and light my candle and make it really cozy, because that is what makes it so enjoyable for me to get up, and that's the difference of me hitting snooze or actually getting my butt out of bed, because I'm excited and I enjoy my habits and I almost turn them into a ritual for myself. For example, this analogy may not make any sense, but it does in my head. Think about the car that you would want to drive to work. Would you want to drive a mediocre car where the radio doesn't work, the seats are uncomfortable, the window gets stuck halfway down? Or would you rather drive a really nice car that has seat warmers and has windows that work and has Bluetooth so you can play your music and drives really smoothly? It's the same commute to work, but driving that nicer car just really enhances that commute that you have to take anyway, and it makes it so much more enjoyable. It's the exact same thing as your habits. Our routines and our healthy habits are the bridge between where we are now and where we want to go. So it is so important to make them enjoyable, because we're wired to avoid discomfort. So if you make your healthy habits uncomfortable, you're naturally going to have a very, very hard time doing them. So making them enjoyable, like making them, you know, with the season with a pumpkin glass, or like drinking your coffee out of a pumpkin mug, or lighting your fall lights up, like those little things will make your routine so much more happy and make you so much more excited to go do them. Plus, I truly feel so much more present in my life, because I feel like I'm truly enjoying my day-to-day. I'm not waking up and dreading everything and like wanting to just pull the covers over my head. I mean, there's some days where I do want to do that, but I don't. 99% of my days, I am so thrilled to get up and go do my habits and enjoy my seasonal decor, because it just makes me really, really happy. So I really challenge you, if you are having a hard time at sticking to certain habits, how can you make them more enjoyable for yourself? Can you make it cozier? Can you set a vibe more? Can you drink out of a more fun glass that you love? Can you put on a workout outfit that makes you feel unstoppable? Like, what little changes can you make to make your routine more enjoyable and your habits a lot easier for you to do by getting you excited to go do them? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my salt water, and we're gonna go ahead and head into our workout. I set out my clothes last night because I preach this on my channel. I always say to set out your workout clothes the night before. It makes such a big difference. It is just a green light for yourself. It makes it so much easier, and it takes away the decision of deciding what I'm gonna wear and where the heck it even is. But we're gonna go ahead and get going, get into our workout. We're gonna do one by MadFit today. I think I'm gonna do this one, and it's just gonna be like a 30-minute resistance training workout with some dumbbells, because that's just been what I've been enjoying lately. But I'll link that below too, so you can give it a go if you want. And as I go through my routine with you, I'm going to share with you the things that have really helped me to not only achieve my goals, but also exceed my goals too. So hopefully this video will help you out and give you the inspiration that you need, especially going into a season where the mornings are a little darker, a little bit longer. So let's go get our workout clothes on, because MadFit is awaiting us. And just to be transparent, I'm usually ahead of my schedule at this point, but it does take a little bit longer filming a morning routine. So we're gonna go get ready for our workout, and I think I need to feed these gremlins. Katie, are you hungry? Maria, are you ready for breakfast? Okay. mornings, I love to do like a meditation before I work out, just because I feel like it puts me in a really good headspace. But today just so happened to be the day that I had planned to film this morning routine, but it also ended up being the day that Cooper's brother needed our help to pick him up from the airport from a trip he's getting back from today from New Orleans, which is totally fine. And I think that comes to a really big point with building a routine and making it sustainable and actually like keeping yourself ahead of 99% of people without like draining yourself, is being flexible. So that's why I put on the podcast, which I do love to listen to things while I get dressed, but it gives me the same kind of effect that meditation would. It gets me prime and in that like that ready to go mindset, that like basically ready to attack, essentially ready to make the most of my day and really work towards my goals. So I think that's a really big point, I would say, whenever you are building a routine and trying to sustain it, is being flexible, understanding that not every day is going to be perfect by any means. There's days where you're going to have to make concessions. Like you're either going to have to sacrifice a part of your morning routine, or you're going to have to do like I'm doing and habit stack. It's just the reality of it. And there's days where you won't have to do that. You can't let the days that you don't have your perfect morning routine derail you. You have to just be able to adapt to whatever situation is happening. And that's honestly what I'm doing. And that's life. That is life. It's just the way it is. And I'm sure if you have kids or anything like that, you probably already have to do that. It's normal to have to do that. So just being able to push through on a day where you would normally just like throw in the towel completely, showing up on those days is so rewarding. And the whole point of any of this is to show up for yourself in the absolute best way that you can. If all you can give is 50%, then that's 100% that day. And then the next day, maybe you wake up and you feel like you can give that full 110%, so obviously it levels out, but like it's truly coming down to what you do every single day in that day, because they're all so different. So if you have a day where your morning routine is not perfect, it's not exactly how you wanted it, it is totally okay. You can still absolutely do the things you need to do and move the needle forward. But that was such a good workout this morning. I highly suggest doing that workout. I used to be such a die-hard like HIIT girl. I loved HIIT workouts, cardio, but I've learned so much about resistance training. It is incredibly important for us women especially to build muscle, because muscle tissue actually burns more calories than fat, which if you're trying to lose weight is key. It also just shapes your body and gets you nice and toned in a way that cardio just can't. And also what's most important for me, and the reason I like to do it, is because it protects your bones, your joints, and also your hormonal health. So building muscle really does equate to a longer, healthier life. And you have to think about it too, like whenever you get older, like, and if you fall or something, like your muscle tissue is what protects your bones and your joints whenever you fall. So it's just really honestly beneficial all the way around to just focus on building muscle. So if you're not doing resistance training, I would definitely suggest incorporating some, because honestly, since doing it for myself, I've noticed tremendous differences in my body. I've noticed my body getting more toned. I feel so much stronger, and I can just tell a difference in even my energy levels. So, and I don't get as bored. I feel like there's so many different, there's a lot more variety, I feel like. So I personally just really enjoy it. But since we did do some resistance training, especially, it is so important to eat a high protein diet, and obviously having your other factors like fiber and everything, but I really focus on protein. That is what is going to actually build the muscle. It's not really worth it to resistance train if you're not going to eat the substantial amount of protein that you need. Definitely suggest doing those overnight curls if you want to save time. You could totally work out in them too, and it'll make your hair curlier longer, but yeah, it looks so easy, so easy. And I'll be honest, whenever I first started resistance training, I was really intimidated by weights. I looked at those dumbbells and I was like, I don't I don't know what I'm doing with this. So just try to find some good videos on YouTube. I can link the one I did below and just slowly start incorporating those weights, and you'll start to feel a lot more comfortable because I think it intimidates a lot of people. I know it did that for me initially. So yeah, that's definitely what I would recommend, is to just kind of slowly integrate it, and you'll start to get more and more comfortable with it. But now it's time to go eat some protein, because you gotta get a good amount of protein in there, and it's usually like 0.8 grams to 1 gram per pound of your body weight. They did a study where people bumped up their protein from like 15% to 30% of their calories. It helped people naturally eat 440 calories less per day and then lose about 11 pounds over the course of 12 weeks. So there really is some science to it. I literally vouch for high protein. And those 440 calories can be the complete difference between being in a calorie deficit and actually losing weight and burning fat, or it can be the difference in being in a calorie surplus. So that is why I focus so hard on protein. And let me tell you, my energy levels since I've been eating higher protein have been through the roof. I used to wake up, immediately go straight to coffee. Like, I was like Lorelai Gilmore, okay? I needed coffee running through my veins the second I woke up. But I realized that I would start crashing. If you're a coffee drinker, you know that whenever you drink coffee, you're not really that hungry, at least for like an hour or two afterwards, because it is an appetite suppressant almost. At least it is for me. So I would have my coffee, not eat anything, and obviously I wasn't hungry, so I would go like 2 to 3 hours after, no food, literally not eating anything until like after 12, and I would get the worst crashes. I would get the shakes, I would get nauseous, and I would overeat my lunch, and then I would want more sugar throughout the day because my energy levels, like my blood sugar, like was just going up and down like crazy. So I noticed that whenever I made the switch of eating a high protein breakfast first, then having my coffee, my energy levels stayed way more even, and I snack way less, I don't crave as much sugar, and it is just such a big difference. So that is why I prioritize a high protein breakfast, and I've been eating one lately that I'm obsessed with. So let's get dressed, head to the kitchen, because honestly, I am so hungry right now. Oh my gosh, my breakfast sounds so good. So enjoying this breakfast. So this egg casserole I made, oh my gosh, it is so satiating and full of protein. But what I did is I put in some sausage, spinach, Mexican cheese, and then also 12 eggs, and then I used the holiday vegetable hash from Trader Joe's. I'll pop it on the screen here, and I sprinkled some of that in there, and it is so good. It has like butternut squash in it. I want to say it has sweet potato. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but has all these autumnal vegetables and herbs. It is just so flavorful, and I can definitely tell whenever I eat it, and it just makes me feel like I'm just immersing myself in fall. And then of course with the apples, they're in season. Apples are notoriously the best fall fruit, aside from pumpkins. I think a pumpkin's a fruit, I'm not sure. And then I love putting pumpkin pie spice on my Greek yogurt. Oh my gosh, it is just so good. And if you dip these apples into the yogurt, oh my gosh, so good. And for my coffee, I do collagen, and I also took my coconut cult. Those are just rituals for me that I have to do, and they're almost like triggers for me, like in a positive way. Like they're cues to do really good that day, if that makes sense. So like I know if I take my coconut cult, if I take my collagen, it's almost like a cue for my brain to do a really good job that day as far as my nutrition goes and my habits go. So I think that's really important whenever you're coming up with a morning routine and habits that feel good to you. You want them to almost be cues for yourself to do good that day and to like make you feel good, and to where they're almost rituals. I look forward to this breakfast so much. This is whenever I read and I journal, and this is just my quiet time. Like this is my essential every day, along with working out. And this time with my breakfast and my book is like so precious to me. Having those rituals in place for yourself is so incredibly important, and it's going to keep you consistent because you're naturally just going to look forward to them, and they're going to put you on the path of getting closer to your goals every single day, and they're going to become so second nature to you. You're not even going to think about it, that it's going to feel weird not doing them. My book right now, I just started this one, is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. If you've been watching my videos, you know how much I love this man, okay? He is just, everything he says is gold. Like it is. Listening to him has completely changed my life. Like I said, I just started this one. I'm only a couple pages in, and I am hooked. He has really already opened my eyes to so many different things, and the way he articulates himself. This is the book that I read in the mornings, and then at night, that's where I dive into my cozy fall fiction books. But I really like to start my morning with reading a nonfiction book because it gets me so motivated. It honestly, like, it gets me out of my head. Like, I know I do my meditation or I listen to my podcast, and this is just a way to keep that momentum going and to keep that mindset going. I know some people don't like to read nonfiction, but I swear you should definitely look for one that feels like it's fitting the needs that you have at the moment. That's something that a lot of the top 1% people do, is they really work on their mindset every single day. They almost think of it as like sharpening like a knife. And again, this breakfast is so high in protein between my yogurt, my eggs, my coffee with the collagen. Like we're getting all the protein, we're gonna get all the gains, but we're still gonna do it in a very autumnal way. Okay, that's how we roll over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my breakfast before it gets cold, at least the eggs, and just dive into some time with Tony Robbins for a little bit. Obsessed with this book. He goes right into the meat of what I want to hear and what I feel like I need to hear. So one thing he says here is controlled focus is like a laser beam that can cut through anything that seems to be stopping you. When we focus consistently on improvement in any area, we develop unique distinctions on how to make that area better. One reason so few of us achieve what we really want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, deciding to never master anything in particular. In fact, I believe most people fail in life simply because they major in minor things. So instead of like dabbling in a bunch of little things, find what it is that you feel like you are good at, what you feel like maybe your purpose is, and go all in on that instead of focusing on a whole bunch of different things. I used to be so bad at this because I felt like I had to do so many things and tried to build so many different things at one time, and you just can't do it. You cannot do it. You cannot chase two bunnies at one time. Is that the... No, you can't chase two chickens and catch them both. You have to pick that one thing and go just all in on that. So after I finish my reading, I love to do my 5-minute journal. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know I've been doing this for quite a while now. I really love this journal. Gratitude is one of the most important things that you can do every single day. It is so easy, and I'm very guilty of doing this in the past, and I have my moments and I catch myself. But it's very easy to only give your attention to the parts of your day that drain you, that you dread, or that you just want to get over with, or things that just annoy you or make you upset and frustrate you. When in reality, yes, you do have those things, but you also have things in your life to be grateful for. And they don't have to be these extravagant things. They can be the smallest things, like a book that makes you really happy. It can be that you are grateful for your bed. Like, it can be the smallest things to be grateful for. And when you can acknowledge the things that you are grateful for in your day-to-day, that is whenever you can level up. All the hundreds of books and podcasts that I have listened to around successful people, the one thing that they all have in common is that they all practice gratitude. Gratitude is the key to manifesting, and that is how you can get the life that you want, because you're grateful for the one that you have now. And that's how you can raise your vibration to allow in all of the other opportunities and achieving the goals that you want. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do my little 5-minute gratitude journal here, and then we're gonna move on with our morning. Now that we have done all of our healthy habits this morning, that is pretty much my routine and what I like to do. And once I've done all of that, it is time for our to-do list. I really like to make my to-do list at night, actually. I like it to be either something I do as a part of my night routine, and sometimes I'll do it at the end of the workday the day before. And I like doing this because I'm able to just I'm freshly seeing okay, this is the stuff that needs to get done. Plus, I really like to have it done the night before because I like to know what my day is going to hold ahead. And I'm going to share with you a method that Tim Ferriss actually uses that is going to keep you from overwhelming your to-do list and make it where you can actually tackle it. Because we really want to take this good energy and good momentum that we've built in our morning routine and carry it on through our day and not have our to-do list completely suck the life out of us, because that is not a productive way to get things done. It's just gonna cause you to burn out. So with your to-do list, you're going to do this method, and I heard this from Tim Ferriss and I absolutely love it. It's called the 2-2-1 method. Most people, and I'm guilty of doing this, especially in the past, fill their to-do list out with 20 things to do in a day, and there's just no way you're gonna get that done. I'm sorry. Not to say you're not capable of doing hard things, but you are literally setting yourself up for failure by creating this massive to-do list. And your brain is going to start associating your to-do list with pain, because when you look at it, you freak out. And that is not the way to live. You have to create your to-do list in a way where you are accounting for things to pop up, but you can still get your things done, because that's just the way that life rolls sometimes. So this is how you're going to make your to-do list from now on. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what are 2 things that if I get them done today will make everything else easier or unnecessary? And this is going to be your 2 high impact tasks. Then I want you to ask yourself, what are 2 things that you can do that is going to give you immediate momentum? This can be something like vacuuming or cleaning out your fridge. The third question you're going to ask yourself is, what is 1 personal or learning thing that I could do today that is going to fill my cup? This can be reading your nonfiction book for 10 minutes. This could be going on a hot girl walk and listening to your favorite podcast. You go from a jumbled mess
in your head that's a list of like 20 things that you need to do to a very clear 5-point system on your list that is effective and isn't just keeping you busy. And let me tell you, when you get those 2 high impact tasks crossed off your list, you will feel so much momentum and you will feel so proud of yourself that you are going to just blow through the rest of your list. It is going to make everything else so much easier. For example, my to-do list today, my 2 high impact were to film my morning routine and to film and post a short form video. And then my 2 little smaller tasks today are to actually file away some receipts that I have that I need to put into my little organizer and to clean out our fridge. And then my one personal thing is to read my nonfiction book for 10 minutes, which you saw me do. Making your to-do list this way is going to keep you from getting so overwhelmed and is going to give you a clear plan every single day so you don't have this jumbled mess going through your head all the time. The biggest obstacle of any routine, of any checklist, is starting it because that's just where our brains associate the most pain. We procrastinate, we feel overwhelmed, we feel tired, and we just don't want to get going. So here's how you're going to implement the 2-minute rule so you can get going on your tasks way quicker and kick that resistance to the side that you feel when you make your list and you look at it and you're like, oh God, I don't feel like doing this. So here's your new 2-minute rule. If something takes longer than 2 minutes to do, you are only going to commit to the first 2 minutes. That's it. You don't have to do the full workout. Just go take the 2 minutes and put your shoes on. You don't have to do the full 20-minute meditation. Just set your timer for 2 minutes and sit down. Once you can overcome that initial activation energy, it becomes more painful for your brain to stop than to keep going. It's kind of a simple trick where you can like recalibrate your starting pain and create some momentum by starting your to-do list and starting those things that you just don't feel like doing, because 2 minutes is logical. 2 minutes is easy. To go commit 2 minutes to go do something is really simple. So once you get past those 2 minutes and you start getting the momentum of doing that task, you are most likely going to follow through with it. So instead of saying like, oh my gosh, I have a whole 20-minute meditation, you can say, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 2 minutes of it and then we'll go from there. And I promise you, once you go through this first 2 minutes, you are gonna wanna finish that task because you're already in it. You're already in it. Now, all of these changes are really great and all of these habits are amazing. But if you want any of this to actually stick, if you put any of this into your routine and you use these tips to make your to-do list, it goes beyond all of these. It goes beyond just doing your morning routine, just doing your to-do list. You have to become the type of person who does not miss a morning routine, who does not go a day without making her to-do list. Literally every single action you saw in this video, hydrating first thing in the morning, doing my workout, doing my gratitude journal, reading a nonfiction book, all of those things are a vote for the person that I want to become. When you truly have shifted your identity and you skip a high protein breakfast, you skip your workout, you decide not to do your journaling, you decide not to read your book, those become a betrayal to your new identity. And following through with these things becomes such an instant source of pleasure. Following through becomes such an instant and powerful source of pleasure because you get that instant gratification of becoming that more disciplined and high-performing version of yourself. Because here's the thing, I said it in my last girl check-in and I will say it again. Your brain does not believe your words, it believes the evidence that you give it. And that evidence is through your choices and your actions. And your new purposeful routine and your healthy habits your new source of pleasure, and make your new purposeful routine and healthy habits the ultimate source of pleasure. And that is how you can create a morning routine that will help you get ahead of 99% of people. I'm not saying to copy my morning routine one for one. That is not what I'm saying. These are literally the things that I do that help me show up as the best version of myself. That is going to look different for everybody. So whatever habits feel good to you, and you can see that future version of yourself that is successful, that has the goals that you want, whatever their day-to-day looks like and the habits they have, whatever they look like, that is what you need to implement. Take what you will from this video, whatever inspires you. I hope there was something that did. Just try to tweak your routines and your habits to really fuel that future version of yourself. It's great to start anytime, but especially now in the fall, you have this time to really test to see what works for you, and you have time to create that momentum to go into 2026 with. You can already make these new habits and routines a norm for you by the time the new year comes around, and you're already hitting the ground running while everybody else is still planning the goals that they want. You are months and months ahead. I really hope this video helped you out, and I hope it gave you some ideas of how to just make your morning so much more fun, so much more cozy, and just really aligned with you and what you want out of life. That is what your morning routine is meant to do, because you can have healthy and productive, and you can have cozy and romanticize the season that you are in. So thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed spending my morning with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to catch you in my next video. Bye.